now going to have Adam and John. You want to show yourself just briefly here? John was just the star guitarist. You can clap for him again if you'd like to. We were going to sing some traditional Indian music. Thank you, Shanta, for ruining that, but appreciate that. I thought you were good until I heard that mess that was just up here, so good job, Donald. Mango since our first year at Duke and spent 4 pretty intense years with him and thought we would share a few thoughts on Mango. We're not singing, but we have a few things to share, and I would just like to go ahead and apologize to everyone in advance. We don't know what the others are going to say. We just told each other rather than trying to coordinate that we would let each other share our thoughts. So, John, I'm a little nervous about this, but come on up and see if you can string together some sentences. Let's go.
I want to talk about a very specific aspect of Mango, and it's how fat he is. Mango is so fat, he puts a belt on with a boomerang. Mango is so fat, he was declared a natural habitat for condors. Mango is so fat, he was floated in the ocean, and Spain claimed him for the New World. He's so fat, we were afraid if he ever fell in love, he'd break it. I guess he didn't. So.
All right, yeah, well done. Really knows you well. Yeah. So, Lizzie, actually, this is for you. I wanted to give you a few tips. I know you've obviously gotten to know Mangesh better than us, but I did want to share a few things with you. In our 4 years at Duke, we learned some really fun games with Mango, and I thought you might want to learn some of these so that you could play.
Okay.
One of them that we learned is actually a good game. He likes to play a little game called Mangarina, and I'll explain what that means. So our freshman year at Duke, you have the opportunity to reach out to incoming freshmen, upcoming I guess, and give them an opportunity to see what life is like at Duke. Well, we wanted to take advantage of the fact that most non-Indians might not know if Mangesh was a male or a female name, and so they decided to apply for a female to come stay with them. Now, this is true, I don't know, but this is what they said. So they decided that they would change the names. There were 3 of them living in that room. There was Mangesh, there was Adam, and there was Jason. Jason, what's your name? Jeff, right? I think I know who you are, right? And so they decided to change their names, and when you called their room that week, you would get a message that said, "Hey, this is Mangarina, Adam Arena, and Jeff Arena. We're at the gynecologist right now, but leave a message and we'll get back to you when we can." I do want to clear you a little bit. The plan actually did work. A female came, but they were nice enough to go ahead and pass her off to Anupama, and she stayed with her for the night. So they're innocent on that front. So that's one game. Play the game of Mangarina and see if you can trick the world. So that's a good one. The next one is a game we call Can You Say His Name Correctly? Our first semester, we spent probably 40–50% of the time sitting around trying to say his name correctly, and it went a little something like Mangesh, no. Mungesh, no. Mungesh, no. Mungish, no. Mangesh, no. Mungesh, no. Mungesh, no. Mungesh, no. Mangesh, no. Mungesh, no. Mangesh, no. Mungesh, Montel, Montevideo. It doesn't matter. How do you say your name? So we'd ask him, how do you say your name? He'd say, Mungesh. He didn't say anything. Mungesh, right? How do you say your name? Mungesh. Say it. Say it one more time. Really quiet. Mungesh. How do you say it? We do it over and over and over. It turns out that in order to say it properly, you actually don't make a sound. You just kind of a little bit of a lip smack. Like that. So that's another one of the games that he likes to play. That's a good one right there. So let's see if I can think of any. Yeah, definitely. When they're slow nights, think of something like that. There's another game that we play. I've got a few more to share, but maybe I'll stop with this one. We used to play called Is Mango in Bed? And what a little known fact is Mangesh is actually 2-dimensional when he's lying down. He was always a small guy, and we lived in a triple, and he had the top bunk. And so Mangesh would sleep on the top bunk, and we'd come in, and we couldn't always tell. Like, he was in there, and we would look at it, And the only way to tell was to go to the end of the bed, and you could just see his little toupee up on the pillow. That's another little known fact, that's a toupee. Sorry to blow it. I know he looks young and suave and all that. Oh, speaking of suave, I actually do have one more to share. You think he's suave, and in kind of intimidating kind of way. You know, he's just too perfect kind of thing. Well, here's a story. So there was actually a girl at Duke that he thought was really cute. And he kind of always... Just one. But it ended well. It ended well, okay? So he was sitting on the bus across from her. There was a bus that went between the campuses at Duke. And he was sitting across from her, and he was a little bit nervous about sitting there because she was pretty cute. Not as cute as you, Lizzie, but she was pretty cute. So he was sitting there one day, and something ran in front of the bus, and the bus came to a screeching halt. Everybody else managed to find something to grab, except for Mango, who went sliding to the front of the bus on his face, like this. Looks around, realizes he's the only one that's taken this spill. Gets up, walks back to his seat, and thinks, oh gosh, that was embarrassing. Sits down, looks at her, smiles, and realizes she looks kind of blurry in one eye. Realizes one of his limbs had fallen out and it was up kind of toward the front. He had to go back up, pick it up, put it back in. So, fortunately, he didn't have his headgear on that day. That's the only thing worse. So, but those are some of my memories about this wonderful, wonderful film.